Hello, Wu Ming here. So it's raining outside today. I'm still gonna get some practice in outside, but then might do most of my practice inside. I got a question from Taekwondo Mama, and I want all my friends to go follow her. She's 41 years old, I believe, and starting out on her martial arts journey. And I just think that that's very courageous to do that at that age. I myself stopped training hard, at least for a very long time, and then got back into it more recently. And I know how hard it is. I get called uncle about 30 times a day or whatnot. And it takes a lot of confidence and perseverance to get through that. So I really respect her for doing that. And yeah, go give her a follow. And she's documenting her whole journey on TikTok. But her question was about Qigong, about still Wei Dan or static Wei Dan. And she wanted to know what I'm supposed to do mentally during this practice. So I feel like there are 3 different ways you could do this. And it's a great question because the mental aspect is very important. And if you don't know and you just sit there and try to do it, your mind is just going to race and go into a whole bunch of really weird thoughts and whatnot. And it's not going to be as productive for your practice. Just even having your mind focus on something, that alone will allow you to do more, or to do the exercise for a longer period of time. It's kind of a mind over matter thing, basically, and that is part of why I do this training, is to train the mind. At a certain point you will feel like you can't go any further, but you mentally make yourself go further. And to me, that is something that can help in martial arts or in any sort of physical activity. But the first way, I would say, so the thing I was showing was like this, the posture I was showing. So you would get into the posture, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be this one. You could do one with your arms to the sides. You could hold a horse stance. So whatever it is, you're holding it. And anyways, you're holding this position. And the one, so what I would say for a beginner is to start with just being aware of your thoughts. So you're sitting here in this position, trying to stay here for whatever it is, 5 minutes or whatever you're capable of. Just don't go past your limit, just go to your limit the first time. And then the next time, try to do a little bit more. Even if it's 5 seconds more, that's still progress. And then when you're doing this, just practice awareness of your thoughts. So your thoughts will come, they will come into your mind, and they will go out of your mind. And all you are supposed to do is just practice awareness of this fact. Just focus your attention on your thoughts. Also your emotions, if you're having some sort of emotions, and just keep practicing that. If you do this very well, and if you get really good at this, your thoughts will slow down and eventually stop. And that brings me to the second way of doing this, is to just stop your thoughts. Now, I still don't ever think you should purposely try to stop your thoughts, but get into that. If you're that good at being aware of your thoughts, that your thoughts stop, then just sit in that space between the thoughts and just keep your focus on that space of no thought or no mind or motion. And you just stay in that as long as you can. And then if you do end up thinking, you become aware of the fact that you're thinking, and you just bring your attention back to no mind, no thought, the space between the thought, the gap between the thought, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to visualize it as. So that's the second way to do it. The third way to do it, which is very important as far as healing is concerned and as far as Qigong is concerned, is called Neidan. And in Neidan, you want to actually mentally visualize the Qi flowing in a certain direction. Now, I'm going to provide a diagram for this video that will show hopefully give you the idea of where you are supposed to visualize the qi going. And I want to also discuss that at first you're just going to be visualizing, but as time goes on, you should actually start feeling qi. It's really hard to describe what that feeling is like, and a lot of teachers won't even tell you that you're going to feel that. And then that way, as you're practicing, it just happens, and the student comes to the teacher and is like, I'm feeling this thing, I feel this thing. And that way it was their discovery, and it wasn't something I'm telling you about and that you're mentally projecting. It's actually something that's real, you know? It becomes much more real to the student that way. So that'll happen eventually, but it could take, it could take months of diligent practice, for instance, for that to happen. So in the beginning, you start by visualizing this energy, and you're going to visualize it from the dantian. So the dantian is about 2 inches or 2.5 inches below the navel, and then about 2.5 inches inside the body. So then you pull the qi out under the pelvis, up the back on the inhale to between the shoulders, like the spot. There's a pressure point just between the shoulders, and then when you get it there, you exhale, and it comes out through your arms. So it goes from that space between your shoulder blades, and then goes out your arms and out what's called the qi well in your palm, which is about here. So it also depends what hand form you're using. In some hand forms, the qi is going to come out of your fingers in your visualization, or sometimes the qi well. And with your feet, there's also a spot. There's a qi well on the bottom of your foot as well. So I'll have to show diagrams for that to give you the best idea of how to do that. And this is much more for strengthening your qi, which is also much more useful for healing yourself from any sort of ailment or whatnot. And although say I do it and it doesn't heal me itself, it can aid whatever the doctors are doing to heal me in general as well. Like it's just something that's going to improve my chances in any way with any sort of sickness or whatnot. But it's not a 100% thing. I'm not saying to not do science or not listen to the scientists or the doctors or whatever. I'm not saying that. But I do believe there's power in this, and there's examples of people. Professor Chen Man-ching, for instance, was very sick when he was young, and he attributes Tai Chi to making him completely healthy, and he even claims that he never even got sick since he started doing Tai Chi. Again, I feel like that's maybe not true, and maybe it's possible, but that would be he's a master. That would be somebody that's very, very good at what they're doing. So I wouldn't tell people, I wouldn't tell people that it's going to cure you and that you'll never get sick again. But I will say it is going to help you stay healthy, and no matter what does happen to you health-wise, it's going to benefit you and make it easier for you to get better. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, I will show some diagrams outlining, the qi going up the back, kind of up the spinal cord to between the shoulders, and then out, in this case, out through the qi wells in the palms. Blessings.